The reveal season for the lost city of Ngoro has come to an end, and the Hearthstone community has shared its ratings for the new cards. Overall, many of the legendary cards seem weaker than before, at least that's the general impression among players. For some reason I still don't understand, the math guys think this is a good sign. In this video, we've compiled all the ratings from popular members of the community to give you a complete picture of the potential usefulness of the new cards, and to highlight the ones you'll be happy to open in your packs. More than that, based on the results, I plan to ask the guys whether the new packs are worth a big investment.
Time to rock and roll!
Hello my friends. My name is Bot Mathematician and this is Holomancer.
Also, Chief Investigative Reporter Dora joined us this evening.
Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop.
We're continuing our traditional tracking of community ratings during the pre-release period. Trying to predict which cards will prove most useful in the post-launch meta is incredibly fun.
Bold predictions, naive theories, obvious top picks that turn out to be weak, and hopeless-looking cards that become meta-defining. The disconnect between expectations and reality is exactly what we love about reveal season.
As an undercover reporter in a trench coat and hat, I secretly followed the channels of popular YouTubers and carefully wrote down their ratings in my notebook. Zeddy, RegisKillbin and Rarran, thank you so much for bringing joy to players with your tier lists and ratings.
In addition, this time as a gesture of deep respect and immense gratitude, we've added Imik's ratings to the collective compendium.
It would take too long to list all of this man's years-long contributions to the Hearthstone community. He's the creator of the now famous King Crush Pet Simulator, which clearly shows players just how minuscule their jackpot odds really are. He's the main insider of upcoming features, dissecting every patch for hidden changes, and on top of that, he's the lead admin of Hearthstone. This man, without exaggeration, should be known by every dedicated Hearthstone player.
It has also become a tradition to include user ratings from the HS Set review site. This incredible platform lets users rate every expansion card and aggregates those scores. Among the many ratings, you'll even find the opinions of your favorite Twitch streamers. Since the site uses a 4-star system, we've adapted the results to fit a 5-star format.
An important part of the overall rating comes from the results of our own community tab poll. Dear viewers, thank you so much to everyone who participated. Without your input, this rating would be incomplete.
Here's what the full ratings page looks like. To the right of each card is the rating from our community. At the top, we display the aggregated rating from the HS Set review site. On the sides, you'll find scores from popular YouTube creators. And finally, at the bottom of each card section, we present the total star rating and a visual stamp indicating the card's status based on all sources. The final score weighs community votes, each content creator's rating, and the HS Set review average equally.
But before we move on, dear viewers, we have a favor to ask. We're continuing to track audience engagement levels by monitoring progress on the rewards track.
While it's not a precise tool for measuring player activity, the rewards track does reveal significant trends, either surges or drops in player engagement.
Please help us continue this research and prepare for the Into the Emerald Dream expansion. All you have to do is leave a comment below with your current level on the rewards track. If you'd like, you can also share your percentage of completed Emerald Dream achievements, the ones that grant XP. The more data we gather, the more accurate our conclusions will be. Every comment counts. Thank you so much.
Alright guys, let's finally move on to the results. And after that, I expect a full analysis from you on the overall power level of these cards, and whether it makes sense to invest heavily in buying packs.
Oh, legendary!
It's time for the final verdict. When players hesitantly say they feel like the new set is weak, they're not alone in that perception. At the very least, the legendary cards from the lost city of Ungoro received an average rating of just 3 stars, the lowest score among all current standard sets.
That's even lower than the legendary cards from the Great Dark Beyond, which had minimal impact on the meta. The leader remains Perils in Paradise with an overall rating of 3.6. By the way, almost a year after its release, packs from that expansion are still considered the most worthwhile to buy.
Guys, the potential usefulness of new packs is a crucial factor when planning your in-game spending strategy. If the new set turns out to be objectively weak, players might want to focus their resources on collecting cards from previous expansions. And for those who already have full collections, it might make sense to buy fewer new packs and start saving gold for the next expansion.
Dora, we can't make a reliable forecast in this situation, but we suspect the lost city of Ungoro may not take over the meta right out of the gate.
However, there's another extremely important nuance worth remembering. Second expansions of the year often turn out to be the best ones to buy and collect. Historically, they form the backbone of meta for the next 12 months. This happens far too consistently to ignore. Also, unlike the first set of the year, the second set rarely ends up being the weakest. So, this lower power level could actually be a sign of an upcoming wave of nerfs. A kind of reset that lowers the overall power ceiling of the game and makes room for new cards. Some of the new cards currently make little sense compared to more powerful alternatives that still dominate. Moreover, modern Hearthstone has become less and less built around the brute strength of a single card. Now it's more about tight synergy between specific cards. And that kind of interaction is the hardest thing to predict. That's why even seemingly weak cards can end up finding unexpected applications. Of course, only you can decide how to invest your resources. But based on past experience, we believe the new set may gradually gain influence, even if it doesn't shine at launch. Personally, I'm not planning to skip buying packs just because the cards currently look weak. I'm confident the developers will, at the very least, try to ensure that the new cards find their place. Though we must admit, that absolutely did not happen with the Great Dark Beyond.
Dear viewers, regardless of how you choose to invest, make sure to check out our latest video on changes to the in-game economy. It's important to know that, right now, the game has become incredibly generous, and this new expansion phase could set a new record for the amount of free resources. Opening too many packs from a single expansion could make your additional packs less valuable. That's why you, in particular, might want to consider alternate uses for your gold. For example, investing a portion of your gold into premium portraits, without hurting your collection, is now a viable path even for free-to-play players who don't have major collection gaps from previous expansions. Guys, what are your impressions of the set as a whole?
I really like that the cards seem weaker, even compared to Into the Emerald Dream. To be honest, I was terrified we'd be getting another wave of Titans. For me, one of the key concerns is the presence of strong turnaround mechanics. Those are the effects that can instantly wipe out an opponent's progress and give you an unfair lead at the same time. I didn't see any such effects among the legendary cards, but I did notice some in lower rarity tools, and that already annoys me a little.
I'm glad the developers aren't trying to cash in on broken cards. Something that naturally creates hype and excitement among players, but also inevitably leads to imbalance in the meta. Many players, including us, have asked for a reduction in card power, and we've finally seen it. We only hope that the perceived weakness of these cards won't discourage people from pre-ordering. So if you've been wishing for a power reduction, please consider supporting the devs. They actually listened. It seems like the developers have taken a very careful approach with the return of quest mechanics. Some quests have always been problematic, very problematic. The last time we saw them, in the form of quest lines, it was a disaster. Players were getting extremely powerful win conditions just for completing them, and whoever completed their quest first almost always won. Overall, this set has several cards I want to collect regardless of their power level. I just really like the design and want to play with them, though of course, it's far from certain that I'll be able to do that in the current meta, since I often fall in love with cards that are hopelessly weak.
Personally, I'd love to share the guys' optimism, but I just can't. If a set doesn't significantly affect the meta, then its existence is hard for me to justify, even if it has nice design or lowers the power of effects. Dear viewers, what do you think? Is the Lost City of Ungoro a step toward lowering power creep, or just an underwhelming set?
Do you like the design of the new mechanics?
Share your thoughts in the comments, and please don't forget to post your current level on the rewards track.
Traditionally, we want to express our boundless gratitude to our sponsors.
Dear friends, your help is invaluable. We will be grateful for any support.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for spending this time with us. We really hope that we will have the opportunity to get in touch in the next video.
Take care of yourself.
And never give up.
Job's done.